Vasilisa and the Magic Doll. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there was a little girl named Vasilisa. She lived with her father, her wicked stepmother, and her two mean stepsisters. Vasilisa's mother had passed away, but before she did, she gave Vasilisa a very special gift, a small, magical doll. The doll was tiny and pretty, with bright eyes and a little red dress. Vasilisa's mother told her to take good care of the doll and to always keep it with her. She said, "Whenever you need help, give the doll a little food and it will help you." Every day, Vasilisa's stepmother and stepsisters made her do all the chores. They made her sweep the floors, cook the meals, and fetch the water. They were very unkind to her and always tried to make her life difficult. But Vasilisa never complained. She was a good and kind girl, and she always did her best. Whenever she felt sad or tired, she would talk to her magic doll and it would comfort her. One day, Vasilisa's stepmother decided to get rid of her. She thought, if I send Vasilisa to Baba Yaga, the fearsome witch, she will never come back. So she gave Vasilisa an impossible task. She sent her deep into the dark forest to find fire from Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga lived in a house that stood on chicken legs, and she was known to be very scary. Vasilisa was frightened, but she took her magic doll with her and set off into the forest. As Vasilisa walked through the dark and creepy forest, she felt very scared. The trees were tall and twisted, and strange noises echoed all around her. She hugged her doll tightly and whispered, "Oh, little doll, please help me." To her surprise, the doll came to life. It smiled at Vasilisa and said, "Don't worry, Vasilisa, I will help you. Just listen to me and do as I say." The doll guided Vasilisa through the forest. It told her which paths to take and warned her of dangers. Along the way, they saw many strange and wonderful things. They saw a stream that sparkled like diamonds, a grove of trees with golden leaves, and a meadow filled with flowers that glowed in the dark. But Vasilisa did not stop to admire these things. She was focused on finding Baba Yaga's house. After a long journey, they finally reached Baba Yaga's house. The house was indeed on chicken legs, and it turned to face them as they approached. Baba Yaga was sitting on the porch looking very fierce. She had a long, crooked nose, sharp teeth, and eyes that glowed like embers. "What do you want, little girl?" Baba Yaga asked in a grumpy voice. "My stepmother sent me to fetch fire," Vasilisa replied bravely, though her heart was pounding. Baba Yaga narrowed her eyes. "Very well, you may stay here and work for me. If you do all your tasks well, I will give you the fire. But if you fail, I will eat you up," she cackled. Vasilisa was very scared, but she nodded. Baba Yaga gave her impossible tasks. She had to clean the entire house, sort out tiny seeds from a huge pile, and wash Baba Yaga's laundry. The tasks were very hard, and Vasilisa didn't know how to do them. But her magic doll whispered to her, "Don't worry, Vasilisa. Give me a little food and go to sleep now. Everything will be done in the morning." Vasilisa listened to her doll. She gave it a little piece of bread and went to bed. The next morning, all the tasks were done. The house was spotless, the seeds were sorted, and the laundry was washed and neatly folded. Baba Yaga was very surprised and a little angry, but she kept her word. "You have done well, little girl. Here is your fire," she said, giving Vasilisa a glowing skull. The skull was filled with fire, and it shone brightly. Vasilisa thanked Baba Yaga and hurried back home through the forest. The journey back was easier, as the doll guided her safely. When she reached her house, the glowing skull burned away her wicked stepmother and stepsisters. They could not harm her anymore. Vasilisa was free. With the help of her magic doll, Vasilisa's life became much better. She was able to live peacefully and happily. The magic doll continued to help her whenever she needed it. Vasilisa grew up to be a kind and wise young woman. Her beauty and goodness were known throughout the land. One day, a kind prince heard of her and came to see her. He was so impressed by her kindness and courage that he asked her to marry him. Vasilisa agreed, and they had a beautiful wedding. Vasilisa and the prince lived happily ever after. She brought her magic doll with her to the palace, and it continued to be her faithful friend. They had many adventures together and always remembered to be kind and brave. Moral of the story. In this story, we learn that kindness and bravery can help us overcome even the scariest challenges. Vasilisa's magic doll helped her because Vasilisa was always good and took care of it. We should always try to be kind and brave, just like Vasilisa, and help others whenever we can. This way, we can make our lives and the lives of others better and happier.